Ruiz versus Oleksandr Usyk. This is without a doubt one of the most anticipated showdowns of the year. Indeed, it goes down in history as what happens when a hard-punching, snappy brawler goes toe-to-toe with one of the best pound-for-pound boxing elites of this generation. But who exactly are these two incredible warriors? That's right, you nailed it. This is Andy the Destroyer Ruiz versus none other than Oleksandr Usyk himself, otherwise known as the Ukrainian Lightning or just the Cat. This ultimate fight had fans literally slipping off the edge of their seats, and to be honest, we're not surprised. Just look at Oleksandr Usyk here. The sheer presence of Usyk is enough to strike fear in the most vicious incumbents. Absolutely terrifying. Perhaps that's why this fight ended the way it did. Time and time again, Usyk has proven his unstoppable ability to outclass and outbox his opponents. With a solid record of 19 professional fights and 13 devastating knockouts, is it any wonder that boxers continue to avoid facing Usyk in the ring? For anyone planning to get the best of Oleksandr, clearly more than just boxing finesse is required. This is a man who has beaten not only some of the most powerful punchers, but also some of the highest skilled boxing technicians of this generation. But what about Andy Ruiz? Although the Destroyer is calm and humble in person, as we all know, inside the ring he does not fail to live up to his nickname. He showed that incredibly well in the way he was able to take out Anthony Joshua back in 2019. That's right, Destroyer by name, Destroyer by nature. One thing's for sure, Andy Ruiz certainly came a long way since being referred to by Tyson Fury as the kid from Up. We all know about Andy Ruiz. He shocked fight fans across the world to see Joshua toppled over, not once, but time and time again in the ring. This Mexican beast was unassuming, and no one was expecting him to take the win. The more foolish fight fans failed to spot the crazy power and supreme Mexican speed of our scrappy former champion. But Ruiz did win the fight. Ruiz exhibited crazy flurries and intense speed for a man of his size and appearance. He boxed close up to Joshua and was unafraid of engaging in furious exchanges of blow after blow. This victory completely shocked the boxing universe. Fight fans in all countries watched with utter amazement as Joshua seemed to have his game plan all wrong, and as a result, he lost the fight and his championship titles and belts. But how exactly does Ruiz match up against Oleksandr Usyk? The Ukrainian heavyweight boxer Oleksandr Usyk is only 34 years old, standing tall at about 6 feet 3 inches. His massive build allows powerful hooks and combinations that stun his opponents and give him a great advantage. The Mexican boxer Andy Ruiz is only 2 years younger than Usyk and aged 32 years, with a build of 6 feet 2 inches. He is an experienced fighter who believes in the use of tactics and envisioning a fight beforehand rather than simply relying on brute strength. When faced with a devastating onslaught, we also know that the Destroyer has an incredible chin, as this could not have been clearer in his fight against AJ. Just look at the force of this uppercut. This is one of Joshua's heaviest punches landing right on target. See how Ruiz's face was almost pulled off his neck? And what happened next? Well, it's true, he fell to the canvas, but was he knocked out? Not even close. Andy Ruiz simply sat down for a few seconds before getting right back up and going absolutely nuts on the heavyweight champion of the world. Ruiz was not hesitant in returning the favor by knocking Anthony Joshua straight down himself. We need to say it again. Ruiz has shown an exceptional chin against Joshua. No one should be taking the force of Joshua's punches for granted. These punches landed on Ruiz with devastating accuracy, and yet he was able to quite easily get back up and return the favor on his opponent. Ruiz has shown he is pretty tough, that's for sure, and any future challenger will need to bear this in mind when attempting to use power against him. So with a chin of this strength, do we really think Oleksandr Usyk would be able to get the better of Ruiz? Well, we all know that Ruiz achieves great success when fighting close up on the inside. This is what allows him to launch his hugely powerful left hooks and punching combos, which typically send even the best opponents crashing to the canvas. But up against Usyk, that simply may not be possible. Fight fans across the world unanimously agree that what makes Usyk so deadly is his incredible technique. The man's footwork, timing, stance, and speed is virtually impeccable. Oleksandr is well known for his crazy ability to use angles to his advantage. Indeed, many claim this is down to his former experience as a dancer. Usyk always seems to know exactly where to stand and how to not only strike his opponent effectively, but also deflect some of the deadliest of punches. One of the best examples of this from boxing history was when Usyk faced up against Murat Gassiev back in 2018. This was the final of the World Boxing Super Series tournament in Moscow, in which the two unbeaten dual belt holders bravely faced each other off. That's right, it was one heck of a fight, with Usyk recognized as an incredibly gifted boxer, whilst Gassiev was known to be a formidable puncher. Just look at how viciously these two legends smashed each other in the ring.
Corner team, beautiful.
He's not getting involved in the punch-up with the...
Try out there, all right? What's this?
His little four-punch combination. Again, they weren't...
Saying audibly, I would rather see you try, but this is a blistering start to the ninth stanza by Oleksandr Usyk.
At the time, Usyk was 15-0 with 11 knockouts, a 31-year-old southpaw and 2012 Olympic heavyweight gold medalist. He relied primarily on his best weapon, his right jab, while number 2 seed Gassiev, a noted body puncher, targeted Usyk's midsection, but with not much success. The judges had no trouble scoring the fight for Usyk, who dazzled with his speed and skills. Usyk made history and was widely described as giving Murat Gassiev a thorough boxing lesson to become the undisputed cruiserweight world champion. For many, there was no dispute after this. Oleksandr Usyk was widely considered the best cruiserweight in existence. Given this insane ability to outmaneuver even some of the most powerful hitters in the sport, would Usyk prove simply too superior for Andy Ruiz? The problem is, it is obviously not that simple. We already know that not only is Andy Ruiz incredibly fast and powerful, but he is well known to have spent many recent months in the gym training incredibly fast to make a comeback to the boxing world. He has even been training with none other than Canelo Alvarez himself. If that hasn't sharpened Andy's skill set significantly, then we don't know what will. Despite all of the above, fight fans continue to point towards one overbearing fact when considering the unbelievable matchup between Andy Ruiz and Oleksandr Usyk. Isn't it obvious? Boxing critics claim that the answer to this bout is obvious when looking at how both elite fighters dealt with Anthony Joshua. As previously discussed, Ruiz absolutely smashed AJ in their first fight back in 2019. But unfortunately, this was somewhat dampened in their rematch, where Joshua completely switched up his game plan and outboxed Ruiz, keeping him at a safe distance throughout the fight using well-timed jabs and excellent ring movement. Compare that to Oleksandr Usyk's recent thundering victory against the former heavyweight champion. This was the fight that shocked the world and saw Usyk, having recently dominated the entire cruiserweight division, take on Anthony Joshua, the world's favorite champion. Many fight fans believe that Usyk easily outboxed, outclassed, and completely outperformed Joshua in this fight. Many argue that Ruiz has fought Joshua twice, while Usyk has only fought Joshua once. That may be a fair point, but based on both their performances so far, how do we think Usyk and Ruiz will deal with each other? Well, allegedly, Andy Ruiz has criticized Anthony Joshua for his performance in his match against Oleksandr Usyk, claiming that if Joshua had played against Usyk the same way that Joshua had played against him, then Usyk would not have won. But what do you think? Scroll down right now and let us know in the comments section below. Will Ruiz prove simply too powerful and scrappy for Usyk to outmaneuver? Or will Oleksandr use his PhD in the sweet science of boxing to nullify Ruiz's attacks and put him to sleep? Scroll down and let us know in the comments right now. Finally, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and right jab that bell icon for future updates to our videos.